My teenage daughter called me crying, saying 6 grown women had cornered her in a market. Not strangers. Women from my ex-husband's church. They were calling her unchristian, selfish, and a bad sister, all because she refused to forgive the grandparents who destroyed our family. What they didn't know was that by the next Sunday, I was going to walk into their church and expose a truth so ugly, it forced my ex-in-laws to leave in shame. If you've ever dealt with toxic family members who twist the truth and play the victim, hit that like button, subscribe, because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll hear today. I'm 46 years old. I have 2 daughters, 17 and 15, and until last year, we had what looked like a normal life. But behind the scenes, my ex-husband had been living a double life. It wasn't me who found out. It was my daughters. They came to me one night, quiet, shaken, holding a phone. I remember the way my oldest said it, barely above a whisper. "Mom, I think Dad is cheating." That moment, it felt like the ground dropped out from under me. There were messages, photos, plans, and then the part that shattered everything. 2 boys, babies. He had fathered 2 children with another woman. I filed for divorce almost immediately, but before it could even be finalized, he died. Car accident, just like that. No closure, no confrontation, no accountability, just chaos. And then came the real problem. His parents, my ex-in-laws. Instead of grieving like normal people, they went straight into control mode. They tried to take custody of my daughters. Then, unbelievably, they suggested they should move into my house, the one I paid for, while their son lied and cheated behind my back. That was a hard no. But they didn't stop. They started pushing my daughters. Guilt, shame, religion. You should be good Christian girls. Those boys are your brothers. You're selfish for rejecting them. My daughters. The same girls who discovered the affair. The same girls who watched their family collapse. They were already in therapy. And still, these people kept poking the wound. Then came the moment that changed everything. It was my youngest's birthday week. I took both my daughters to a weekend farmer's market. You know, the kind with fresh bread, eggs, homemade sweets. I gave my youngest a budget and told her, "Go have fun." For a while, everything felt normal. Then my phone rang. Her name. I answered. She was crying. "Mom, there are some women. They won't leave me alone." My heart dropped. I ran. Found her cornered. 6 older women surrounding her like vultures, pointing fingers, raising voices. "You're unchristian. You're abandoning your family. Those poor boys need you." My daughter, frozen, shaking. I stepped between them, told my older daughter to grab the things and go to the car. Then I turned to them, and I snapped. They didn't back down. If anything, they escalated. One of them actually said, "You should obey your in-laws like a good Christian wife." I felt sick. The audacity, the entitlement, the absolute delusion. I tore into them, and it got loud enough that we were all kicked out of the market. That night, I needed answers. So I contacted someone from that church I still trusted, and what he told me made everything click. My ex-mother-in-law had posted a massive sob story in their church Facebook group, painting herself as the victim, claiming we were cruel, heartless, abandoning them. But here's the worst part. She lied about the affair. She told everyone that the other woman was a surrogate, that I couldn't have more children, that I rejected the babies because they were boys. I just sat there, staring at the screen, disgusted, furious. That wasn't just a lie. That was character assassination. That's when I decided. No more silence. No more taking the high road. If they wanted to play victim, I was going to show the truth. All of it. Because here's the thing. I had everything. Photos of the affair, messages between my ex and his mistress, texts where his parents knew and supported it, messages where they harassed me during the divorce, and the worst ones, messages to my daughters, calling them bastards, blaming them for their father's death 2 days after he died. I didn't just want revenge. I wanted exposure, so I went to a print shop, printed everything, high quality, crystal clear. Then I spent hours putting them into binders, beautiful binders, designed to look like church hymn books. Sunday morning, I walked into that church, calm, focused, and placed those binders right where people grab their songbooks. Then I left. The gossip spread like wildfire. People opened them, saw everything, the photos, the messages, the truth. My ex, his affair, his parents' lies, the same people who judged my daughters, turned on my ex-in-laws overnight. They were furious, not just about the cheating, but the lies, the manipulation, the cruelty toward my kids. Even the pastor had to step in to calm things down. And my ex-in-laws, they couldn't handle it. The whispers, the stares, the judgment, they left the church completely. My ex-mother-in-law later posted online, talking about how alone she felt, how no one cared about the elderly, how she missed her perfect son. I read it and just shook my head. Because the truth, her perfect son destroyed his own legacy. And she helped cover it up. I didn't do this for revenge alone. I did it for my daughters, because sometimes silence protects the wrong people. And truth, even when it's messy, has a way of setting things right. If this story made you feel anything, anger, satisfaction, justice, hit that like button and tell me in the comments, what would you have done in my place? And don't forget to subscribe, because the next story might be even more intense.